So if you're a technician stepping into the world of battery electric vehicles, this right here is your new bedrock. We're going to break down the 5 core principles you absolutely have to master before you even think about touching a high-voltage system.
Yeah, let's just get right to it, huh? In the high-voltage world, the line between being a pro and being a liability is, well, it's razor thin. And these 5 pillars, they're not just best practices. They are the absolute foundation for your safety, your career, and frankly, your customer's life.
Okay, so it all kicks off right here with the first and, honestly, the most critical pillar. Just understanding the immediate personal danger you're facing every single time you walk up to a BEV.
Now you see this number, 1,000 volts. That's not what's in the car battery. That's the minimum safety rating for the gloves you have to wear. You're being protected from 1,000 volts of direct current by just a few millimeters of rubber. I mean, that's the kind of respect this tech demands.
Yeah, there's no sugarcoating this one. This is a direct quote from the training standards, and it is the stark reality of the job. And look, this isn't about being dramatic, it's about being dead honest. A single mistake with a live high-voltage system, well, you don't get a do-over. So here's the big takeaway, right? This isn't just some rule in a dusty manual. It is the absolute starting point for your own self-preservation. Every other procedure, every tool you pick up, it all comes from this one simple principle. You master the hazard before it gets a chance to master you.
All right, on to pillar number 2, and you'll see how this builds. Once you respect the danger, you have to understand the vehicle's core architecture. Because here's the thing, it's not just one giant battery you're dealing with, it's 2 totally separate systems that have to be managed in a very, very specific order.
The easiest way to think about it is like this. First, you've got the RES, the high-voltage system. That's the muscle, right? It's providing all that incredible power to actually move the car. Then you have the SELV, the low-voltage brain. That runs the computers, the lights, all the controls. You have to understand both to safely work on either one.
But you know, just knowing they exist, that's only half the story. The real skill, the real safety, is in the sequence. Deactivating these systems in the exact order the manufacturer tells you to, that is what makes the vehicle truly safe to work on. It's not something you can improvise.
And this is exactly why that sequence is non-negotiable. You get that order wrong, even slightly, and you can literally trap a lethal amount of energy inside the system. The vehicle might look dead, but it's hiding a charge just waiting for a path to ground. And that is how a routine job becomes a tragic accident.
You know, that last point leads us perfectly into pillar number 3, which is all about authority. In the world of BEVs, there's only one source of truth, and it's not your gut, and it's definitely not what you did on the last car.
This right here, this is a total mindset shift. That service manual from the manufacturer, it's not a friendly suggestion. It is the binding, non-negotiable rulebook for that specific vehicle. Every single model is different, which means its manual is the law. Period.
I mean, it's so tempting, right? You start to think you can use a one-size-fits-all approach. You've depowered 10 cars from the same brand, so the 11th one has got to be the same, right?
And that's a big nope. That one little assumption is exactly how you fry thousands of dollars in components and, way more importantly, how you make a vehicle fundamentally unsafe, both for you while you're working on it and for the customer when they drive away.
So, let's be super clear on this one. Following the manufacturer's specs isn't just about doing a good job. It is a core requirement of your job. Willfully ignoring them isn't a shortcut. It's professional negligence. It's really that simple.
All right, pillar number 4. So you get the danger, you understand the systems, you know the rule book. Now we got to talk about what's actually in your hands, the physical tools you're using, and the critical paper trail you leave behind. Think of this as your pre-flight checklist. Every time, you got to ask yourself, do I have the right tools for this specific job? Are they in good shape? Do I actually know how to use this service plug remover or how to read this multimeter to prove there's 0 voltage? And just as important, am I documenting every single step on that repair order? So think of this pillar as your 2-front defense. Using the right tools protects your body from getting hurt, and creating that accurate, detailed paper trail, that protects your reputation and gives you a legal record of the work you did. One protects you in the workshop, the other protects you in court. And that, my friends, brings us to the final crucial pillar. The job's done, you put it all back together, the power is back on, but hold on. You are not done yet. This last step is arguably the most important one for your customer, and that's returning a vehicle that is verifiably safe and works perfectly.
See, bringing a car back to life isn't just about flicking a switch. It's a whole process. You've got to recalibrate systems that lost their memory. You have to run full diagnostics to make sure the car's brain is talking to its muscles correctly. You need to hunt down any new faults that might have popped up. And then you do a final physical inspection.
Because look, if you drop the ball here at this final hurdle, every single safety procedure you followed up to this point, it all becomes worthless. A fault in the braking system that you didn't catch after you repowered the car means you just handed the keys to a dangerous vehicle. This is the final gatekeeper for your duty of care.
So, that's the whole shebang. The 5 foundational pillars. You master the hazards, you know the systems and the sequence, you obey the manufacturer's specs like their law, you use the right tools, and you document everything. And you always verify with a final system check.
So I want to leave you with this final thought. The procedures you follow, they protect the car. The PPE you wear, that protects your body. But what protects your career, your reputation, your professionalism? It's your discipline. It's the diligent moment-by-moment application of these 5 pillars every single time.